Hi guys, so today I'm just going to share with you what is in our October morning basket. I used to do these, I still do them. I just kind of took a break for a little while because I didn't feel like I had that much to share anyways. But now that we're back in the full swing of things, I'm going to start sharing again what is in our morning basket. Morning basket can't really be called a morning basket in our house, but that's just what I call it because it's a basket full of books and we pick like one thing in the morning usually. But most of these books actually get read at night. So I guess it's more like an evening basket. But I'm just going to get started and share with you what I'm reading aloud with my kids and what we're all reading together for the month of October. Now first is Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone by J.K. Rowling. This is special to me. So I picked this first to tell you about because this is probably what I'm going to talk about the longest. I love Harry Potter. Who doesn't? And so does my husband. We are really big fans of the Harry Potter series. And every November, we've made it a family tradition to watch all the movies throughout November. And we just make it really special and make food to go with it, you know, popcorn, or we'll eat a meal while we're watching Harry Potter, and hot cocoa and things like that. We just try to make it really special and fun, and now the kids really look forward to it. So my kids have seen the movies. My 10-year-old, my very recently turned 10-year-old, just read this book by herself. And I want to wait until next year when she was 10 turning 11, the same as Harry Potter did in the first book. However, I don't know. I'm so conflicted on how to approach Harry Potter with my kids because it is such a special series to me. I want them to have the same experience that I did. And this will give you a clue to my age. When my husband and I were growing up, the Harry Potter books were still coming out. And we were pretty much in the same age bracket as Harry when a new book would come out. We were always around his age for that year. And so I think that probably made a little bit more of an impact on us too, because we really could identify with Harry Potter. I think the first Harry Potter book that I read, I was in 5th grade, and it was this one. And so I was 10 turning 11, the same as Harry. And I think I just have to come to terms that won't be the same experience for my daughters. Because all the books are out and she's already wanting to read the second book, and my first instinct was like, no, you have to wait until next year at least. But I don't know how fair that is because we have the whole series sitting on a shelf, and truth be told, she would probably just sneak it and take it to her room and read it at night, and I would never know about it. So she's ready for the second book already, and I guess I'm going to let her read it. I guess I'll just let her read them at her pace. But regardless of that, she has read it, and then it kind of reawakened that old like spirit in me of like the excitement of Harry Potter. So I am going to read this aloud this month for the month of October, and also of course let my 7-year-old sit in, and they're just going to have a different experience than me and get to read it younger, and we'll probably read it again and again. I never want there to be a time when Harry isn't an option. So there's a read aloud that we're going to do for the month of October. And that's probably, again, the one that I'm going to talk the longest about because I feel most passionate about it. The next one is The Peculiar Incident on Shady Street by Lindsey, Currie. And if you watch my family reading crate unboxing, this came in that box. And so, of course, we have to read this month at least. It was the books that go bump in the night box. So this is meant to be like spooky, ghostly themed, and is great for the month of October. We're already up to chapter 10 already because the kids have enjoyed it so much. So we'll probably get this done way before Halloween, but the kids are really getting a thrill out of this book, and they love it. And this is about a girl who moves from Florida, moves with her family to Chicago. But the house they've moved into has some strange things about it. So not only are they in a new town, but she's experiencing some strange and kind of scary things in her new house in Chicago. The next one is A Little House on the Prairie by Laura Ingalls Wilder. I read Little House in the Woods. So this is a first for us reading this book. I picked this up mainly because it's just a classic and I see homeschoolers reading this all the time. I never read these as a child, so it's a first for me too. The only thing I would say about it is the kids don't seem quite as into it. I mean, they think it's okay, but they don't ask for it more than these other books. They never ask for Laura Ingalls or Little House on the Prairie. So this is kind of taking a back seat for now, but I plan to finish this in the month of October. The next one is The Witch of Blackbird Pond by Elizabeth George Spear. I personally think this is a little old. We're actually almost done with this. I think we have 2 more really long chapters because the chapters in here are long and my throat gets really dry after reading them in the evening. I think this is a little old for my kids, but my 10-year-old picked this out and she really wants me to read it, and she still requests it every single night, even though sometimes I don't have the energy to read it. Would I choose it as a read aloud right now for my kids? No, just because the language is kind of like just dense and it's just meant for an older audience, and I don't know how much she's understanding from it, but she can summarize what happens in the chapter pretty well. So I don't know, she likes it. I of course enjoy it, although I think it would be better as a read alone than a read aloud. Just the language in it is just hard for me to get into reading aloud. But maybe it's something I just have to get used to, because I'm used to reading books like this and they're really easy and fun to read to kids. And so if I'm going to continue to read aloud to my kids, I guess I'm going to have to get used to reading aloud more advanced and dense language. Now those are the family read alouds. The only other books left in our morning basket or evening basket are things pertaining to my 10-year-old and what we're going to be studying for the month of October. And what we're studying are Vikings and Norse mythology. So I have this Viking Explorers book by Luigi Prunetti that I plan to get into. None of these we have started yet because we took a small break to do a week-long unit study on Harry Potter. I think it was meant to be 3 weeks long. I got the unit study from Emily Cook, who is the author of Build Your Library. But because my daughter read Harry Potter in 2 days, we've kind of shortened it and condensed the unit study to a week. So we just took a week break to focus on Harry Potter. But after that, we're going to move on to Vikings and Norse mythology. And this book just kind of has some, historical spreads on the Vikings. And then I got another Vikings book. What is it? A Small World publication. Vikings by Pluckrose. Okay. And I haven't really flipped through these much. We're not going to read these cover to cover. Probably not. But again, they just kind of go along with our studies, so we'll just flip through them. Let's see. Let me show you this one. The next one is The Vikings by Hazel Mary Martel. And it's just another one of those, just kind of flip through with pictures and facts book, the kind that we don't really read cover to cover. And the last one is Favorite Fairy Tales Told in Norway, Retold by Virginia Havilland. And this one I think we will get a lot out of. Just has some Norse fairy tales in it. And then I also have another resource that I'm going to be using to tell like Norse mythology stories, like to cover Thor and Odin and Freya and the Tree of Life and their creation stories and all that. So I'm really excited to get into that with my 10-year-old. And then with my 7-year-old, we are continuing to read a fairy tale every morning. I didn't grab the fairy tale book, but that's what we're going to be doing every morning for the entire year, is reading a Grimm's fairy tale and working with that. But those are the books in our basket for the month of October. One thing, if you are a fan of Harry Potter and you're reading them with your kids, I kind of want to know, what is your approach to covering Harry Potter? I guess it bothers me way more than it should. I'm so confused on how to go about it because I want them to get the most out of it, and I so want them to have the same experience as me, and they can't, and they won't. So I kind of want to get ideas, like, how do you cover Harry Potter? Do you make them wait until they're the appropriate age? Like, as Harry grows, they grow with it, or do you just let them read it as they will? And how does that work out that Harry is so much older? You know, say your 10-year-old is already on the 4th or 5th book, you know, and Harry's a teenager. Does that work out okay? I mean, let me know. But I hope you guys enjoyed watching, and I will see you all again really soon.